Don't forget, you can catch up with news and weather where you live just before the top of the hour here on Breakfast. Also, more detail from your local BBC radio station. If you're in Surrey, you really need to pay attention to that this morning.
You do. Now, when you think of police commissioners, it might conjure up an image of your favourite American TV drama, but a similar system is going to be introduced here, where locally elected officials will oversee each force.
Well, Bill Bratton's run police forces in both New York City and Los Angeles. As the New York City Police Commissioner, he achieved the largest cut in crime in the city's history.
And he's here with Councillor Rob Garnham, and he's chair of the Association of Police Authorities, which would be scrapped under the government's plans. Hello to you both.
Good morning.
So we're not going to have you for much longer, are you?
We're still fighting, we're still doing a job, we're delivering effective and efficient police forces and police service up and down the country, and there's a long way to go. A bill comes out today, we wait to see what's in that. Police authorities are raising what we see as real risks behind moving to what might be deemed an American system. There's real risks over politicisation. There's the costs as well of elections and the transition. We estimate it's going to cost an extra £100 million over the existing costs at the moment.
Bill, do you think the American system could work here of having a commissioner, one single individual responsible for policing in each area?
Well, it's described as an American system, but in many respects it is not, because in America there are 17,000 police departments and each one has a different reporting relationship. In New York, I was the police commissioner. I controlled policy. I reported directly to an elected mayor. In Los Angeles, as chief of police, I reported to an appointed board of police commissioners, 5 commissioners appointed by the mayor, and we both reported to the mayor. So there is no one American system, but I've worked in a system in which I have reported to a board of commissioners.
And would that work here in Britain?
I would think it would. That this is not so earth-shattering, the idea of police reporting to civilian elected leadership. It's not the end of the world. There's a lot of things to be worked out. Cost issues, certainly, the existing governance versus proposed governance. A note of caution, I think, would be that the idea that a single person could have oversight over a 10, 20, 30,000 person police force, that person's going to need staff. That's a reality, because one person cannot just do it.
Yeah, Rob, when I spoke to the policing minister, Nick Herbert, a little bit earlier, he said that people don't really know who the police authority is at the moment. At least in this example, they feel as though they have some say in their policing in their communities.
I think, look at police authorities made up of 9 elected people and 8 non-elected. I think we are extremely visible. For instance, when we're setting the policing plan, asking the public about their priorities. We're extremely visible when we set the council tax precept that pays for policing. And the argument about invisibility, I'm sure the minister and many of his colleagues in Westminster, if they walk down their local high street, I'm sure they don't think that everyone instantly recognises them. Mistaking invisibility for efficiency, that's something we've got to be careful about.
But there is a lot of people like the idea of having one person who they know is going to take responsibility, who they know is going to be in charge, and having a commissioner would do that.
It would, but there are other ways of achieving that, I think, which wouldn't cost £100 million to move into that system. You've had many commentators here talking about the CSR, the cuts that we're facing at the moment.
We should clarify, that's not going to come out of policing budgets, though, the £100 million. It's already been set aside, it was part of the CSR.
The Treasury have given the policing budget an extra £50 million to pay for transition, pay for elections. Our independent experts say it's going to cost, over the next 5 years, an additional £101 million. That's an independent report. That's the elections and the transition costs.
Okay. Bill, can I ask you how you think it works in terms of the politicisation of it, or is there any politicisation? Because one of the key concerns seems to be if you have one person and they have one view, there is a real danger there that they can influence policing.
There is that risk, and effectively you deal with that by not re-electing that person, or if that person's actions are so egregious, you basically move against that person. In my time reporting to the police commissioner in Los Angeles and to the mayor, never in the 7 years during my time there did I ever receive a call about a transfer, a promotion, a disciplinary action. They stayed totally out of the operations of the police department. They developed policy, they reviewed me, disciplined me if necessary, but in that very politicized city, and Los Angeles is about as political as you get. It's a blood sport there. They stayed out of the police department, and I was allowed to speak quite freely. I was known for my battles with the city council. I was not shy about taking them on budgets, and the police commission on occasion we worked together, on occasion we differed.
Okay. Bill Bratton, Rob Garnham, thanks.
Thank you
very
both.
much.
Thank you.
Okay. Time now, 14 minutes to 8.
This is Breakfast from BBC News. Let's bring you up to date with our main news this morning. Gatwick and Edinburgh airports are closed as snow and freezing temperatures continue to cause disruption across much of the UK.
Plans for the most radical reforms to policing in England and Wales for 50 years will be published by the Home Secretary today.
Also coming up in the programme.